Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Stefanetta, Isis Harmon. I got all the letters in the name here with another episode of The Business of Black Beauty with Sadaya Black Beauty Guide. I am so excited tonight. I have on our stream Monae Everett, who is an amazing celebrity hairstylist. Also, I love to call her friend, so woo woo, who just dropped a new book today called Get Out of Your Own Way 25 Insider Tips for Booking Celebrity Hairstyling Clients. Long title, but worth it for so many different reasons. Say hello, Monet.
Hey, Boo, thank you so much for having me. I cannot wait to come here and talk to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for joining in, y'all. So, we are going to be talking tonight about her book, which is, again, 25 insider tips, but it's so much more than that. This is also like how to upgrade your life, my ninja, like how you upgrade your business game. Like, so she's going to give us some tips, talk about what she's doing in the industry right now, in the midst of COVID and being a hairstylist. And then just, we're going to have a good chit chat. So Monet, please, share a little bit about yourself because I know everything about you. So I don't even know where to start.
Okay, so I'm Monae Everett. I'm a celebrity hairstylist. I'm based in
Mhm.
Brooklyn. I have loved beauty for all of my life, been a hairstylist for about 20 years. Hey, 20 years. I was really fortunate that pretty early on in my career, I found out I wanted to be a celebrity hairstylist. So I worked towards it, but it was not an easy path. And there were so many things I didn't know, so many things I just wanted to ask somebody, but I didn't know who to ask. I didn't know what I didn't know. So now that things have gotten a little bit better and I have had some achievements, I decided, how about I write a book? I get so many DMs and emails from people asking me, hey, I want to work with celebrities. I want to work with high end people. I saw you work with Tia Mari. I saw you work with the Disney girls. I saw you work with Liza Koshy. I want to do this. How can I do this? So I decided to put together Get Out of Your Own Way 25 insider tips for booking celebrity hairstyling clients.
Well, that is awesome. What I love about this book, y'all, is that it's life gems, it's hairstyling gems, and it's also Monet stepping back and saying, "Here, these are the things that I saw that I had issues with, or that I know people, because we all know people with some issues too, that you're like, wait, what?" That she put in one space that we can see, like, this is how you can really get it done, and it takes the myth away, I guess, of or the fear factor, I think, away of what it means to become a celebrity hairstylist.
And
So,
you should have some fear because it's not as easy as you would think. And there are so many mistakes that I made that I just didn't even know I was making. So when
mhm.
I sat back and I thought about it, I was like, man, it's one thing to make a mistake and know you made a mistake. It's another thing to not even know you made a mistake.
Oh, okay. That's deep. So, what inspired you to just sit here? Like, what was that moment that said, "Yo, I'm gonna write this book"?
Probably when COVID started and there were no other excuses. I got to
Oh,
admit, I've been asked to do this many times. I wrote a different book on braided hairstyles some years back, and
mhm,
I just wasn't sure if I was ready to do it. I wasn't sure if it was something I should do. Like, do I have the
mhm.
qualifications for it? But when COVID came around, I would say you take that setback as a setup for success. And I said, God, what you trying to tell me now? What is it you trying to say? Because clearly you didn't stop the world to speak specifically to me. Because keep in mind, I'm an artist, so it
Right.
must be about me. So God was like, hey, that book you keep putting off? I think you should do it. I was like, God, I'm busy. He's like, you're not. Outside is closed. You have nowhere to go. Stay home and write this book. It'll be awesome. So I did a lot of writing and voice to text writing. And I was like, well, maybe I have something to say. It was originally supposed to be like a 5-page download. But my good friend Isis got in my ear and said, baby, you have a lot more to say. Oh, yeah, and let's back this up
Nope,
because
this is about you.
Isis came through on this book and she wrote one of the forwards and she copy edited. So this thing is going to be good.
Thank you, love. Thank you so much. Well, I saw this and I was just like, wow, this is an amazing thing. For folks who are tuning in, I have Monae Everett. She's a celebrity hairstylist, author of this new book, Get Out of Your Own Way, 25 Insider Tips for Becoming a Celebrity Hairstyling Client. She's an educator. She talks about like the textures and when I say the textures, I mean all the textures on what it means to really become a hairstylist. And that's, yes, four of them for y'all. Like,
Or
mhm. And she breaks them down. So can you share that? Because that's one of your big tips in the book, but I think that's one of your big tips in life when it comes to your career as a hairstylist.
absolutely. To be a hairstylist, you need to be able to style all four textures of hair.
Hmm.
I have nothing against niching down and saying, hey, I'm amazing with this right here. But
Hmm.
anyone with any hair should be able to sit in your chair and look better when they get up than when they sat down. If you're only able to do your hair texture, in my opinion, you are a hair enthusiast. That
She
is
called
not.
you a social media influencer, y'all. If you can only
Yes.
do one texture of hair, that's
Yes.
what I heard.
you're
That's
you're
what.
really excited about hair, which is great. That's
Hmm.
a great starting point. But
Hmm.
in my opinion, to be able to be a hairstylist, especially a high-end hairstylist, especially a hairstylist who's doing red carpets, celebrities, all of these things that people wish they could do, you need to be able to style all four hair textures. There's only four:
Hmm.
straight, wavy, curly, and coily, natural, kinky hair. Y'all love how that fourth one got so many acronyms.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No,
The
but that's
longest.
real. So she's talking right now about the different textures. And what I like about this when you're saying this about your craft is this is something that applies to any craft. Is you need to know
Yes,
the foundation, the basics of what you're doing in life to get to that next level. And for you as a stylist, it's being able to style all textures of hair.
absolutely. And it's funny, when I started my career traveling back and forth to
Mhm.
New York and now living in New York, I'm fortunate enough to travel all over the world at this point. And at this level, you're just expected to be a great hairstylist. Anything
Mm.
other than that is, extra. But it's interesting that a lot of people think, oh, let me just show up and I'll learn while I'm there. Like, oh, you're expected that whatever they throw at you, you can do. Finger waves, got it. Hot curler set, got it. You want to
Mhm.
twist out, boom. Style these curls and coils, great. Like no one has time for you to be like, um, this hair is really straight and really Asian. Like the Asian hair that doesn't curl. These are things you're supposed to know in the very beginning. They are hiring you as a hairstylist who can not only style hair but style it very quickly and can foresee and troubleshoot, and most importantly, keep them on schedule. No one
Mm.
cares about your excuses.
Right, right. Oh, first of all, let me just say real quick, Monet, that Fatima Ampey from last week just hopped on and said,
Hey,
"Hey." So thank you so much, Fatima Boo, for tuning in. That's a blessing. She mentioned that we're tailors, and that's what you were just talking about in terms of
Fatima.
being able to go through the different styles of hair. And it's not just race based, it's really just texture based. Um,
Absolutely.
I love that. Uh, oh, and she said there's an education gap. Let's talk about that. Let's talk.
Oh, there is a major education gap. When we go to school, many times we simply learn on a mannequin, and the mannequin's hair mimics somewhere between straight and wavy. And I say somewhere between because it's so funny when people think of the straight hair texture, they
Mhm.
think in America, they think of American straight hair, which generally has a little something to it, but they're not
Like that
even thinking
beach.
about, yeah, just a little. It normally has a little something to it. But when
Mhm.
I think of straight, I'm like, now, if we're saying straight, I'm talking quote unquote Asian straight, where you can wrap that thing around a curling iron, spray it, and pray on it, and you get a slight bump, you know? And I always laugh because so
She
many
said
people are like,
pray and pray.
sprayed and pray. So many people are like, oh, I only do straight hair, and then you give them that hair texture, and they're like, eek. I don't know what
Mhm.
to do. So I'm like, so you can do a slight wave, and that's it.
Mhm.
But then you won't even style the slight wave. You're changing the texture. You're blowing it out. You're
Okay.
going at it with a curling iron. What can you do with just this hair? You know, a lot of people, like people think about the natural hair takeover as a black thing.
Mhm.
No, every hair texture is going back to how their natural hair looks. And in order to do that, they're cutting off over processed ends. So it's funny,
Mm-hmm.
we call it a big chop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's doing it. Everybody's cutting off the over processed hair. That's not necessarily a just natural or just curly hair thing. If
Mm-hmm.
someone has big loops and they've always been straightening their hair and they've decided not to, they're going to stop for about 6 months and cut off the over processed ends. There's so many things that make us unique, but we have so many things in common. And that education gap is crazy because the school and the church, the salon and the church are still segregated. We need to stop that. So you're going into a cosmetology school, of course that's still separated, but you're teaching not only
Mm-hmm.
ignorance but fear. You're teaching like, oh, go over there and do that here. That's not
Right.
what we want. No, God made four textures of hair. Why can't these four textures coexist? I don't have naturally straight, naturally wavy hair. I can style the hell out of it because I'm a hairstylist who has wanted to. We need more curriculum. We need more educators. We need to see versatility in the books. I want to see an Asian man styling a Latin woman, or a Latin woman styling a black woman's hair. If we take race out of it as it should be out of it and make it about
Mm-hmm.
hair texture and lead by example, I think that we can be a part of the generation that actually sees this change.
That's what's up. So, y'all, we're talking about everything we do is about the business of Black beauty. And this is what you're touching in right now is this education piece
Mm-hmm.
for people to move forward in the same way that we have to be educated on products. We're looking at from the stylist standpoint, from the hairstylist standpoint, how are they educated in cosmetology school? And um, it's not necessarily happening there, is what I'm
Yep.
hearing. It's always
Yep.
it's segregated and it's to the back of the room, to the back of the exhibit, to the back of the workshops or whatever it is. So
Yep.
that's super deep, y'all. If you're thinking about that when you're looking and watching television and trying to figure out, like, why does that hair look like that? Because it's someone who was brought on who may or may not have been trained to work in all the textures.
And
Like,
you
I,
know,
hmm?
that's a great thing that you bring up. Why does a hair look like that? Why does the hair say on TV or something
Uh-huh.
look like that? There's so many different reasons. The direction may have been to make their hair look very undone. The direction could have been to just have big hair and move it out of the face. Or they could be on a set where they have a different understanding of what good looking hair is. People don't realize hair care is so subjective. Hairstyling, makeup is very subjective. You ever meet somebody and every time you see them, they look a hot mess? Every
Mm.
time. They look and feel good like that. Who are we to say that this is wrong? My job when I'm on set is to do what is asked of me and to make them look great.
So,
Sometimes they want something
okay,
that maybe I would have picked out.
so let's come to this though. So we're in your book, right? We're talking about celebrity, booking celebrity clients. And
Yes.
one of the things that we talk about, because you're talking about how the hair looks, we have stylists who are in what we call the salon that are whipping and weaving and doing it big. How does that hair translate to being on set under the lights, camera, and all that action?
Yes, yes, yes. Great question. So the products have a lot to do with it. So when you go to a salon, you as the
Mm-hmm.
hairstylist get to control every aspect of it. You get to control how long it takes, what products you use. You shampooed it, you've mowed it, you've set it. On set, generally, we don't get to shampoo. We have to work with whatever it is, however their hair came in. So then we're mixing products and things of that nature. But on set, there's hot cameras, there's humidity, there's lights. For example, you can't put oil and grease and stuff on their hair. When that light and camera hit it, it can look like a total different style. This is what I tell hairstylists all the time. You ever slayed somebody here? I mean, that thing is laid, but that thing's so laid, you tell the other client, you gotta wait a minute, because I gotta get these photos. And then you whip out that camera, clean your lens, and take the picture and be like, this ain't it. This ain't what I just did.
Hmm.
That happens a lot. But on set, I'm not allowed that opportunity. I have to be able to foresee this ahead of time. I have
Hmm.
to look and say, okay, it's humid in here, it is hot in here, or it's really cold in here, or something that has nothing to do with me. She has a scar on her shoulder. Guess whose job just became the hairstylist if she's wearing something bare shoulder.
So
I
you
got
have
to
to
work
cover
with
that.
makeup. Yeah, because I got to cover that.
Oh.
I have to think so much more. And many times the artists who hit me up about working with celebrities and stuff, I look at their books and I can see that all they care about is just the hair, not the entire vision of the
Hmm.
image. That's asking someone to take a really big gamble on you, because I'm not here to be fighting with you on set when you want to do six finger waves down to the face, but the look is for everything clean.
Right. So there, those are like the small things that folks don't think about when they say, yo, they want to be on set and they're pitching their work and they're just like, well, why is no one picking my stuff up?
Yeah,
So,
because your hair looked greasy, because there was a dry
oh.
spot, because the hair extensions didn't blend, because that hair is amazing with a different dress. You didn't pick the dress, but it's the entire image. So
Hmm.
somebody wasn't listening. And if you're
Hmm.
trying to get to the next spot, actually, it's better for you to be the one who caves. You be the one who caves and change that hair so that the entire image works together. Isn't that crazy that you can get judged on what they're wearing?
Mm.
It's reality. It's real life.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So there you go, y'all. She's dropping gems. I want you, if you are in the beauty business at all, to drop questions, comments about like what it is that you're looking at doing. Because I know this is about being a hairstylist, right? Her book. First of all, go to MonetLife.com. Let me put this back up on here. I did have that. The MonetLife.com/Guyao. You can get more details on her book. She's got a deal going on right now too for it. But the process in this conversation, though, for me is like really looking at everything that you've talked about in here are things that we have to really think about in general when we're looking at the beauty business and anything that we're moving
Yeah.
forward in a game. Even with like the styling, what does that look like? Because you're changing mediums. So your
Mm-hmm.
skills have to be able to transfer across mediums.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's super dope.
It's
What's the
interesting. Well,
Mhm.
hold on. Let's time out. How am I giving you all of this information? ISIS has this platform, and I'm not seeing likes and hearts and shares. If you know any
Look, I'm
black
gonna move this a little
business,
bit while we
if you
talking.
know any business of somebody trying to do something new or different, I need you to share this. I need some likes and some hearts. This lets Facebook know that people are listening to what we're talking about. So, put that thing on out there. Now I forgot the question because I was talking over you. I just couldn't believe
You
we
know
were
what? Don't
sharing
even
this.
worry about that question. How about this
Yeah,
question?
we
What's the biggest thing? Like, let's just be just on point because you get like your DMs, like folks. Okay, first of all, let me start over. Like, Monet is out here sharing these tips because people hit her DMs up like she's supposed to walk everybody through the door because
yeah.
they see her. They're like, well, I can do it too. So when we're talking about walking through the door, what's the biggest thing, the biggest issue, concern when they hit you up that you see like, yo, you should fix
Uh,
this first?
the first thing is you shouldn't hit me with "Hey, love."
Nah, I want to do what you do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can we start with you not hitting me with "Hey, love," "Hey, boo," "Hey, what's up"? Because I don't know you, not because I'm above you. I don't know you. We're not homies. So it can leave a sour taste in your mouth. So and get out of your own way. 25 insider tips for booking celebrity hairstyling clients. I even teach you how to pitch to artists that you want to assist, as well as other people, because artists can hire you, but other people who hire you. So that's a big issue that I find. I also find all you need to do is go search me, and then you can find my work on this person or that person. Ma'am, I'm not going to do that.
So the
Ma'am,
biggest thing that you're seeing is they want you to go do the research on them before you can even
yes.
refer them. Okay.
Yes, or oh,
Google
I seen
me.
that style you did. I could have did that. All you got to do is fly me out, baby. I'm trying to get flued out too. Things don't really work that way. Like, people don't know what to say, so they
Mhm.
get really nervous and just start throwing stuff at the wall and see what will stick. And I am so guilty of that. Like, I got to put my hand
Mm.
up and testify. I am so guilty of getting nervous and saying the craziest things. So this is one of the reasons why I wrote "Get Out of Your Own Way," because when I was going through it, like I woke up after I graduated college. So I went to cosmetology my senior year in high school, freshman year in college. And I thought I would only do hair while I was in school, but I fell in love. So I graduated college and decided, oh, this is it. I'm going to be a celebrity hairstylist because I got a college degree. Ma'am, none of that goes together. No one cares about this college degree for being a hairstylist because there was so much I still needed to learn. So I had to go and get out of my own way, retrain, learn how to put myself out there. How do I work social media? How do I make the most out of my online presence? How do I have a great website? What do I do to get attention? What images are needed in my book? What do you mean crop this differently and make a website with flash? Like what? How am I supposed to make a website? How am I supposed to do any of this? I had to learn all of it. I even had to learn how to partner with creatives, and it became my job to be able to tell if they were a good photographer, makeup artist, wardrobe stylist, creative director. And I was like, look, I do hair. Well, every time I did hair, even if the hair was great, if the rest of the image wasn't, no one cared. None of it worked together.
Wow. So you really, so these are the types of lessons that we're going to find in this book, is like the
Yes.
things that no one tells you, because you have like, it's the real world experience. You have like, I learned how to do hair,
Mm-hmm.
and I also learned how to do hair on set. Now
Yes.
what? Okay.
And ooh, those are not the same, but the etiquette, the marketing, and the business skills you need
Mm-hmm.
to make it, I'm telling you, it's like for every step that you achieve, there were
Mm-hmm.
25 mini steps along the way,
Yeah.
and you have to learn all of those. There is no skipping a step at all. What and
Okay.
this is what I was saying on my live, and they kept laughing yesterday about assisting. I hated the concept of assisting on set because I felt like I assisted in the salon. You know, something else that had nothing to do with anything, but I
Mm-hmm.
just thought that it mattered. And every lesson I needed to learn that would have been better had I learned at the beginning of my career, I had
Mm-hmm.
to come to New York and assist. So those lessons just sat there and waited for me. Everything I
Okay.
thought I was over, they were like, no, ma'am, we'll sit here and wait because you're going to learn these lessons.
So
So you
there's
can
no
learn them.
skipping,
Yeah, you can
like
learn them
any
at the
other
beginning
business.
or the end, but we're going to
Okay.
sit here and wait.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm just gonna throw in. We have a Tanisha who just tuned in a little bit ago, and I know this is not about your book per se, but she's been waiting patient. Actually, was it Tanisha? I'm sorry. I'm going through right now. It's Tiffany who was asking this about what's the best thing to do for hair breakage. Are you able just to give us one little hair tip real quick?
I want y'all to still like me when I give this tip, but the best thing to do is cut it. There is no mending it. I want y'all to love me though. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So if you have
There
hair
is
breakage, what you mean cut it? Like even it out, cut it?
like cut that piece of hair that is broken. But generally,
Mm.
there's not one piece of hair, so you end up having to cut more. So if you have a little split end, a real small one like this, and you ignore it and you keep combing and brushing, it continues to split up the shaft. There's nothing you can do to mend pieces of hair back
What
together.
about all those protein conditioners that say, oh, when you put it on here, it will mend and repair your split ends?
I've yet to see that, and there are some protein treatments that I like. Like I'm a big fan of old school Alpha G because I found that so late in life, and it does
Yeah.
make your hair feel better. It will coat your hair. It will not put them in to stick them back in a way that they are not broken.
Okay.
Sorry,
Well, that's good to know.
Tiffany. Could you stay my friend? No, I know you didn't want to hear that answer.
Tiffany, yo. Well, yes, thank you, Tiffany. I'm sorry. She said the truth. Trim it and get it back healthy. Shout out to Tanisha because she said you were dropping gems. And we got a
Oh, thank
Mecca
you.
who amazing. Hey boo. She asked a question about how do you learn the business and marketing skills for what you're doing? Because that's separate. Think about that.
They are separate. However, I give you some jewels for that and get out of your own way 25 insider tips for booking celebrity
She gonna
hairstyling
speak marketing
clients.
right there.
Yes, okay. Also, pitching. Pitching is a form of marketing. I give you word for word what to say in a pitch. I tell you
Mhm.
who to pitch to. A lot of people think, hey, if I want to do, I don't know, Janet Jackson's hair, let me just DM her crazy. You'll probably get blocked. Okay? Because after the 12 DM, she's gonna be like, "Why you want to touch my hair so bad?"
Mm, right,
Mm-mm.
right.
No. So I tell you who to actually reach out to. And I let you know, should you be going for Janet Jackson or maybe a different level of entertainer? And how do you decide what label? What level? How do you decide who you should pitch? Like that's the
Right.
thing. Everybody thinks they know. Oh, all you got to do is give me your contacts. What you gonna say, ma'am? What you gonna say? Here's the list. What you gonna say?
Okay. So look, you got this book. You also have a stunning braids book that breaks down like all the before braids were on trend again. You
Yep.
know, even though we black, so we always been rocking braids, but as a trend, you did this book and break down like the different kinds, even up to those lobster braids and all those other things that I still can't do. But you have the education courses with your Monet Life Academy. It's Monet,
Yep.
themonetlife.com, but it's also an academy with these workshops.
Yes, it is.
What what impact are you looking to make on the Black beauty industry with all of these things that you're doing?
So there are things that make us unique, but in terms of hair and the beauty industry, there's we have more in common than not. I am tired of the excuses that they didn't know how to hire us, whether it's behind, in front of the camera, or behind. So
Hmm.
if there are a lack of diversity in front of the camera, I want you to just imagine what it's like behind the camera. And one of the
Mm,
first times I really had this conversation, it stuck out in my mind that we probably have such a lack of diversity because people have no idea where to go to get this information. I think about all the things I wanted to know and not having anybody to know. I think about the professionals who literally slammed the door in my face when I went to see them for help or
oh
hung up the phone
wow.
on me because they didn't want to help. And it's very scary to give insider tips. However, if I want to go to the next place in life, I have to help others who want to go somewhere. So I wrote Get Out of Your Own Way to help people to follow their dreams. I think it has to be a special kind of hell to live in regret every day, regretting something you didn't do. And I just don't want people to have to live like that. I want them to say, I want my dash to be important, the between your starting year and your year of death. I want people to
Mm,
say, Monet was great with this, but Monet helped me with that. Monet helped me realize that these
mm,
questions nobody else would answer. Monet did that. Monet helped me get through the door. Let's be very clear. Monet's only taking people who through the door who are well trained ahead of time. And a lot
mhm.
of people are so fed up with other personal issues that they're going through that many times their work will suffer. Now you don't have an excuse. 25 insider tips. I go live all the time giving free education at Monet Artistry. I have the celebrity cheat sheet checklist, which is on my website for free. I'm giving you so many opportunities. I'm sick of hearing about what you didn't know. I want to be able to put these jobs on your merit, on what you knew or didn't know, rather than anything else. It breaks my
Mm.
heart to see how few Black people are in these front facing positions. And I didn't plan to be someone leading any charge or a part of any charge, but I just couldn't find what I was looking for. So I said, all right, I guess I got to be part of the change.
Wow. So here, look, she said, I'm gonna be the change, right? So we have Monet Everett, y'all. If you're tuning in, I'm Isis again, founder of Sadaya Black Beauty Guide. We are in this business of Black beauty, and she is breaking down tips and sharing her good information and insight on what it takes to make in the beauty industry and actually leveling the playing field. Um,
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. What I do also appreciate while we're doing this is typically when you think of a celebrity hairstylist, you're thinking of someone who's jet setting, who's made it big, and they're tapped into like the most whatever person that you can't reach unless you're there. And Monet is saying, look, you can start at your salon and
Yes.
work your way up and actually be able to, it's like it's achievable, it's attainable, it's accessible. You just got to do the work to get there. So you don't have to
Yes.
just be discovered by someone. You don't have to luck out like a Lizzo and her stylist where you're just traveling with this one stylist. You can actually be a working celebrity hairstylist and touch on, different people's hair every day. You know,
But
I know
there's
you
one.
mentioned a whole bunch of people in the beginning, but like India Moore, you've done I think Taraji, you've done Angela Bassett,
Nope,
Saniqua,
not Angela. I've met
not
her.
Angela.
Fan
You just
all the
look
way
like
out.
her. Is that what that was? It was just
I
the
just met her.
Okay, just met her. My bad, my bad. Okay,
She's
the
still on
fangirl.
my list of names I'd like to slay. So, you know.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna put her on the wish list. But we do have Merle Dandridge.
Yes,
We do
Meryl
have
Dandridge,
Shaniqua
the
Martin
bleeding
Green.
relief.
I mean, you've done a lot of different people, and it's like because you're in this market, in this industry, and working forward towards it. I think that's
Yes.
super important for people to understand that you can be a working celebrity hairstylist. You don't just have to be a one-off. You can actually make your living living your passion,
Yeah,
living
and
your dream.
like you spoke about a hairstylist waiting for a big break with a client.
Mhm,
So not having anything to do with whom you mentioned, but here's the drawback of that. First off, most artists and actresses and actors don't have the budget to take you. So if you're sitting there relying on them, they're not necessarily relying on you, and they're meeting newer, more experienced hairstylists along the way. But also, what do you want to live somebody's life every time they jump? Every time they say jump, you got to say how high. What if something happens to them and they can't perform anymore? Your whole career is gone. What if
mhm.
y'all get in an argument and they say you can't come with me anymore?
We've
Now
seen that.
you have no other clients.
And we've seen that. We've actually seen straight up social media wars of stylists or makeup artists and top celebrities, going back and forth. Do you still get to work after that?
Yeah,
Wow.
and that's not what I want. Think about how desperate you are if your only source of income is the crumbs somebody decides to throw at you.
So
And
you want to be diversified with it.
yeah, you need to diversify in every way possible. And I'm literally saying crumbs because when you take the percentage of what they make versus what you make, it's probably barely a percentage point. So it's just whatever they kind of brush off. And if you started with somebody in the salon and you only stay with them, they're so new to the industry, they might not even know what to actually pay you, and you don't know what to ask for because you're so new in the industry.
Mm. So, Pete, another life gem. Diversify your income, y'all. Business.
Yes,
Because that's literally
diverse.
what it means to be a working celebrity hairstylist, is you're diversifying across all platforms. And then you also, I know that noticed this, I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, but you interchange celebrity and high end.
Yes,
So someone can still be paying you ducats, real good
yes.
coins, but not they might pay you more.
Yeah, like maybe you can make yourself out to be a wedding hairstylist. If you like weddings and all that comes with
Bridal, yeah.
it, that makes good money. But when I say influential, I mean anybody who they say like the first lady, the head of
Hmm.
Honda, I don't know, the top theater person in your community, anybody who people around you would say, "Oh my God, you do such and such. Oh, I'm coming to get my hair done by you." Oh my God, did I see a
Mm,
picture on social media of you with First Lady, whatever? Oh,
right.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
That's real though. And so look, we have someone, Felicia Perry, just tuned in as well. Thank you, Boo. She said, how do you manage to diversify but not burn out?
You pray, like that's all I got for you. Pray to whomever you pray to. You will feel like you're almost burning out. You have to have a larger goal
Hmm.
that you're going for because you will be. It's feast or famine. So you will have times. I've had times I sat home for weeks, and then times where I worked 23 days in a row, traveling back and forth to LA. Hey, go to London real quick. We need you in New Zealand. Come back, and then no one's talking to you. And
Wow.
then it's, can you catch a flight in 4 hours? But you got to get there because there will be a time where you're so hungry for the work that you want to do it. But sometimes I've had those cycles where I looked around and said, my career is not where I needed to be. I'm taking everything within these parameters,
Right.
everything that comes my way, and I'll make like an agreement with my body. Okay, body, I got water for you. I'm gonna feed you at least twice, and I'm gonna sleep on these planes if you
Right.
just let me be able to do this work. Sometimes my body's like, yeah, another time my body's like, ma'am, no. So in
Okay.
terms of burning out, you got to have something bigger that you're looking into, that you're working towards, and then at some point you will have to start saying no. I believe burning out comes from not having any boundaries, not having any real aspiration. Like maybe your aspiration is so broad, like I don't know, to make up something. I want my hair to be in a magazine. What magazine? On who? What type of style? When? What you get what I'm saying? You gotta have a broad goal so you know you're working
Towards
towards
it.
it because maybe your hair gets put in the local newspaper and you're like, this don't feel how I thought it would. Like I thought I would be happy, but I'm not. So then now
Mm-mm.
you're back disappointed in yourself. That was a
Got
good
you.
question.
Yes, yes. So you talked about feast or famine, right? We in
Yes.
COVID, where a lot of folks is on famine mode. How have you been? I mean, because a lot of the sets just shut down. How have you pushed through during COVID with your business?
Well, I was really blessed that earlier in the year I was like crazy busy, but when that thing stopped, it hard stopped. And it hard stopped for me before the shutdown, maybe a month before the shutdown. I was just sitting around at home. And then I got a few bookings, like right when people started talking about a shutdown, and every day I was like, Lord Jesus, please let these bookings happen. One of them happened, all the rest of them got canceled. So unlike salon client or a salon hairstylist who some of you were sneaking and doing hair and stuff. I didn't even have that option because I don't have a normal clientele anymore. So my
Mm.
clients live in, LA, Dallas, Maine, Miami, woo, Tennessee, where I'm sneaking to. There's nowhere to sneak. So I was really blessed. I had also started doing a lot of public speaking, and I had a few good gigs this year. And I was so excited. I had so many more lined up. They all went away. So I said, okay. Clearly, all of my things that I use, all of my sources of income are people dependent, like standing in front of them. Clearly, that wasn't a good idea. I thought I diversified. Clearly, I need to diversify more. And God was
Mhm.
like, hey, remember that book you kept being asked about? I was like, no, God, not now. And he was like, no, 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 I think you should write a book. And I was like, mm-mm. And he was like, listen here, write the book. Get out of
Okay.
your own way. 25 insider tips for booking celebrity hairstyling clients.
Look, she got the marketing down and she got the diversification down, y'all. Like for real, for real. So, well, let's talk about that for real. This is for a lot of people in the beauty industry and just in general in this game. Like you have to diversify. Where you were was it make is it making money right now or it slowed down? What are the things you can do with your skills that are transferable to move you to another level or another plateau, another plane of success? Um,
Absolutely.
and for you, it's been your book, but it's also been education. You've been doing workshops. You have
Yep.
those pieces as well, and doing like this diversity. What is it? DNI, diversity and
Yep.
inclusion conversations as well. So those are things, y'all. We're thinking about what it means to be in the business of Black beauty. It's like, yes, she's a hairstylist, but she's really taking a 360 approach to her business and what that means for her and how she moves forward. And I want to, as we're talking about that, what does success look like for you in this new space, in this, especially what versus when you first started and said you want to be a celebrity hairstylist?
Well, I enjoy making statements with my celebrity clients. Like, I enjoy working with Dominique Fishback, who wants to make a statement with her hair, which is styling coily hair without heat and how beautiful it can look on red carpets. I love clients like my client Emily Tosta. She's very Latin strong. I love that she always wants to make that statement. Brenda's song is like, I'm super Asian. So I love these statements. So I now can see the much bigger picture of when they're on these red carpets, when they're starring in movies, when they're getting attention. So I love being a part of that.
Mhm.
I enjoy working with PR companies when they're trying to figure out, okay, we've dropped the ball. We didn't know what to do with the blacks. Can you help us?
Okay.
I like being a part of that change. I like being a part of the change for curriculum. I've even done some education for cosmetology schools remotely since COVID. Like I didn't even know that that would be a thing, but everything that you can do, everything you can think of is important. Like I saw a lot of hairstylists starting online stores or selling
Mhm.
product bags. Get into it. Realize that your job, your business is answering your clients' needs. It's not just about what you want, and they're going to remember who was there for them and their needs in terms of who they seek to come back to.
I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Do you have any questions? Anything else that you want to ask Monet while we
Now's
are
the
on
time.
here? This is the time that we're gonna, get into it for minutes and just, check out her book, themonetlife.com/Guyao. I will drop that banner again. And just follow her on Monet Artistry. That's another piece because, we're all about some some social media
Follow
up
me
in this
down to the
spot.
Monet Artistry.
And
Last week
she,
I did
mhm,
classes every day, giving 5 different tips. So it's the norm for me to just jump online and go live and give some free education.
mhm. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I'm loving this conversation, Monet. Is there something that you want to touch on that we didn't really share with the people? Something you want them to know about you?
Well, not really about me, but about themselves.
Okay.
Education is something that can't be taken from you. Education is something, it's the only way you rise, because when you know better, you do better. If you take your craft seriously, other people will take you more seriously. So to me, that means taking classes, reading books, self-care and things of that nature are important. Taking care of your family, your kids, all of that's important. But that education, when people find out you can
Mhm,
communicate, it sets you apart from everywhere else. You'll learn the better you're able to communicate, which is what a lot of classes and books help you do. The more higher end client you will attract. I'll never forget one of my first clients that I had for about 7 years told me that she loved coming in because we could talk about her hair. I could
mm,
tell her why I thought this would work or did not work in combination with whatever other chemical or hairstyle she had going on. Um, and she wasn't accustomed to that, and I could listen to whatever she felt about it and whatever
mhm,
her goals were and make them work. And she said it was just uncommon. Back in the day, you had to go to one person for a relaxer, one person for a cut, one person for a highlight, and she was like, you do all three and keep the hair on my head? Never seen it. Never seen it. And can talk about it. She said it was like going to a professional and just praying you're going to leave with hair. That's not a client's job to wonder if you're going to make them look better or worse. It's only your
Wow.
job to make them look better. And I think the building block is communication. Learning how to communicate, soak in that knowledge is important.
What's up? Oh, so we got a good question. Alicia just
Yay!
asked, your book, Get Out of Your Own Way, right?
Get out of your own way.
What is the biggest way that you have been in your own way? And how you
Child,
get
this
out of it?
mouth, this mouth has gotten me in so much trouble. As a little girl, I was told that, they just said you talk too much. You think you're so smart. And I couldn't comprehend that because I thought being smart was a good thing. But I think what they were trying to get to was what I realized probably around 30 was that almost every problem I had when I started the conversation, it was all I said was, baby, that was a hard realization that communication does not necessarily include snipes. Communication is clearly explaining what is happening and, if appropriate, how you feel about it. Not necessarily what the other person did or didn't do. And I
Hmm.
just really had a hard time with that. It was just always really important to me to say, okay, this is what happened. This is how you made me feel in this, that, and it just doesn't work. And not only is that in personal life, that's on set because you get into differences of opinion with people on set. Someone is going to be the victor, and there is no HR. And if you get known as always running your mouth, being that equates to difficult to work with, we just won't call her. There's nothing guaranteed about this work. You have to learn how to work with people while being authentic to yourself. So I am still very opinionated about what works for me and what does not work for me. But not a you always do this and why you doing that, and okay, this is what I need to happen. Everything else is noise. Mm-hmm. This is still what I need to happen, and this is how I can work with you in order to complete this. Or sometimes saying, this is what I need. However, I need these images to be great, and I need this client to stay liking me. I'm gonna back down.
Okay.
Tough lessons.
That's real, y'all. That's a real way that, our mouths, because we think everything don't need to be said.
I got a cramp rubbing my neck just with
Monae's
the
like, wait, but
thought of that lesson.
you just said it already. Okay. So this is, I mean, that's part of it, y'all, is becoming self-aware. I love this. Oh, one more question from Felicia. What's
Please,
your
any
favorite
questions you got, share them.
social media platform?
What's my favorite social media?
Platform.
Did you see how
Yeah.
hard I rolled my eyes at that
Uh-huh.
question?
She don't like none of them.
Okay. I was hopping on YouTube some years back, and then I just wasn't. And this gosh darn Instagram. But I would say Instagram is the most important. It's holding on really strong. I
Mhm.
don't foresee anything really topping it. TikTok is coming for it, but TikTok is in international troubles, so we'll see. But I love things differently. I love LinkedIn from when I need to get to the meat of the people, and I can just
Mhm.
post whatever I want without all of the aesthetics. I
Mhm.
like Facebook for having conversations and going live, and people seem to be genuinely connected. I love Instagram for my ability to just scroll and get what I need. But I would say I think Instagram is probably the most important.
Okay. So dope, dope. Well, this has been fun. I just for everyone who's tuned in, Monet has been doing her due diligence today. She has been on a, we're gonna call it a media run. You've been on your own press tour
Yes,
today.
I
Just
have.
she's been doing lives all day, so I'm grateful that she was able to hop on with us to have this conversation, talk about her book, and also, share these real life gems that touch on all sorts of business. This has been amazing, Monet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um,
And where else would I be? Of course, I want to be here with you.
Thank you so much. But look, so check her out, themonetlife.com. Hit up Guyal to learn more about her book, to download some free stuff that she's got on there because she always got a freebie. Look, always got something that will help you, whether or not you need this book to become a celebrity hairstylist. But she has some things for your toolkit for,
Yes.
and then some educational courses as well. And drop some questions in there. Follow her. Let us know if you have anything that you want to talk about with her. Hit her up. She actually does respond to her DMs.
I respond to all my DMs at Monet Artistry. I'm telling you, and
So, mhm.
Get Out of Your Own Way is there and available, and you will receive your copy tonight. I still am running a 20% off discount. Now, for the people who pre ordered before today, they got 40%.
Oh
But you
wow.
guys can get a
Okay.
good solid 20.
No, this is a real book, y'all. It's not one of those little PDF situations where it's 3 pages and you're like, wait,
Oh, no.
did you copy this from somewhere?
Oh,
These are
no.
real tips. These are
It's
real
full
tips.
of advice. It's full of how to's. It's full of
Mhm,
anecdotes. It's full of, yeah, I got in trouble for that. Here's how I got myself out.
mhm.
So real life, you'll learn from it. It tells you, even places you can go to get websites, whatever you need. These tips are things that I know you will need, and I don't think you'll read this just once. I think you'll be referring back and forth to it.
All right. And my number one thing that I just took out of this conversation with these tips is diversify, y'all.
Diversify.
Diversify, learn different streams, learn different skills to expand your streams of income. I think that's dope.
Yep.
So yeah, yes. So everyone, thank you for tuning in tonight. This was a blast. I am Isis or Stefanetta Isis Harmon with the Business of Black Beauty, and thank you so much to tonight's guest, Monae Everett, celebrity hairstylist, educator, and author of Get Out of Your Own Way 25 Tips for Becoming a Celebrity Hairstylist or for booking. Let me get this right. Start over, y'all. Her book, Get Out of Your Own Way 25 Tips for Booking Celebrity Hairstyling Clients. Because that's a big difference. I know you talked about that before. It's not just being a celebrity hairstylist, but it's really booking celebrity and high end clients. So, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, y'all.